It happens every year. There's one movie that gets nominated for all the awards, and I just don't get it. Welcome to this year's nominee.
So what kind of name is Belavet?
It's Czech. It's changed originally.
It's very original.
Well.
And your first name?
Therese.
Therese, not Teresa.
No.
Therese Belavet.
Carol is the name of the film. It stars Cate Blanchett as a woman in the early 1950s, married to Kyle Chandler's character, and what happens when she falls in love with Rooney Mara, decides she'd rather spend time with her. Directed by Todd Haynes, based on a popular novel. This has a lot going for it. Can it succeed? Here's 5 things you might want to know before you see the movie Carol. Okay, I'm going to be honest right here off the bat. I didn't like this movie at all. But there was one thing I did enjoy about the film, and that's Cate Blanchett. She's a great actress. Now, to be honest, I actually enjoyed her this year more in the movie Truth. I thought that performance was better, but you see why people love her. You see what she does here with this character in this position of being a married woman, being a lesbian, falling in love with Rooney Mara, all those things. You see what she's going through, the turmoil that she has, and how she sees it affecting other people. She's a great actress and is the one thing I actually did enjoy about the film. And now we begin my descent into disagreeing from everybody else. The first thing is, I didn't buy the chemistry in this movie at all. People are talking about Rooney Mara's performance and how the two of them have such amazing chemistry in this movie. I don't know if I missed something, if I missed a crucial moment, if I was looking away, but I thought it was awkward and weird, and I didn't buy it at all. I felt like Rooney Mara was more comatose and confused in this than interested. I did not get these two women together, and because of that, the movie lacked a lot for me. One of the other things I didn't get that made the movie really difficult for me, and we'll just call this number 3, where was the dramatic tension? Now, I get it. She's a lesbian in the early 1950s, and that's difficult, and trying to figure that out in a world like that, sure, could be an interesting thing, but what am I rooting for? Like, what am I rooting for in her life? What am I rooting for in the movie? Is there something I'm supposed to be rooting against? You know, what is that key thing, that key element that is supposed to put me on edge or put me not at ease so that it can be resolved in the end? I just didn't feel like there was anything that needed resolved in this movie in any way that had any kind of satisfactory ending. So because there's that lack of dramatic tension, it really just kind of feels boring. And for me, that's the main thing. I was bored during this movie. Even as good as Cate Blanchett is, if I'm not buying into the relationship, if I'm not buying into the characters, if I'm not buying into the dramatic tension, what am I interested in? What am I watching for? And it's that kind of boring for me when I was watching this that just builds. Have you ever been watching a movie and early on you're just like, come on, get to something interesting, and then it never does, and that boredom inside you just builds, and every second you waste on the movie, you're just thinking, oh, I could be doing something else? That's the experience I had with this movie. That is not a good movie watching experience, and therefore for me, kind of ruined the whole thing. Finally, let me say this. I'm aware I'm in the minority on this. Yeah, it's not fun being the lone voice. You feel like everybody else must be right and you just missed something. Like I'm thinking, was I in a bad mood? Did I miss something in the film? I think it's a good caution and something good to let you know that I am in the minority on this, and you may want to get a second opinion because obviously a lot of people disagree. It's bound to happen every once in a while, and it seems to happen around Oscar season every single year for me. Overall, though, Carol for me was boring, was uneventful, was one of those movies that I had a hard time getting all the way through. Because of Cate Blanchett's performance, it's able to lumber its way to a hearty D+ for me. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. First, I want to let you know if you want to know more about the channel, you can click the info button right up here. Just click it, stuff will shift out. You can find other reviews that have happened here. Subscribe to, visit the website, yourmoviefriend.com. You can also donate to the channel, which I appreciate. If you do podcasts, I'd encourage you to subscribe to SiftPop, SiftPop. It is the official podcast of Your Movie Friend. I join a couple friends every Friday to talk about pop culture. We have a great time, so you might want to subscribe to that. Also, if you do Periscope, follow me there. Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. I like to Periscope right when I come out of movies. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best ever Cate Blanchett movie? since, we're kind of highlighting her. I'm going to have to go with the one that almost starts with a very small being sitting up against a tree reading a book when a visitor comes to town. That pretty much gives it away. Take your guess in the comments. You can leave your choice there as well. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click the logo right down in this corner.